Alright, so this video is going to cover specifically what I want y'all to see as far as the enemy and the health bar and how it works, and then I'll explain the functionality of it. So this is my capstone prototype that I made. So as you can see, the uh, enemy takes a little bit of damage on the health bar, and if I come over here, you'll see that no matter which way I'm going, wherever relevant to myself, it rotates. And then the other thing that I want you to see is when the player dies, they ragdoll and the health bar disappears. Hey! So um, the idea to show you this is basically that the health bar rotates with the enemy depending on where the player is standing. Right? You see it rotating there. You see it rotates, and then you see it disappears when the enemy dies. So all right, so I showed it with a couple different enemies. So first, we would need a widget with the health bar, and it's red. So in this, we just make the health bar, and then we change the color of it. Let's see, where is the color of it? I think I just made it like a instance editable or something like that. Let's see here. Oh, right here. In the fill and opacity, I changed it to red, and then it's at 0.7 here because it shows you that it has a little bit of damage taken out. When I come over here, even though this is a function, we didn't necessarily need this. And as you can see, there's nothing in the event graph. So nothing's plugged into this, the function, and nothing's on the event graph in the widget. So what I did was I made a blueprint for my enemy, and how I got this to work. First, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to show you. As you can see here in the blueprint, the enemy has the widget above their head. So what I did was I added a health widget to the just above the capsule component. I added it onto that, just like I did with the attack radius and detection radius, so the enemy would follow. So all this is attached to the capsule, right, of this enemy. So anyway, this widget specifically, I could move it up some if I wanted. So basically, it's a widget that if I click add, I look up widget, and then as you can see there, widget. And then I just named it health widget. Now, specifically, okay, the widget class over here in the user interface is the widget blueprint enemy health bar. So the widget, when we put it on there, didn't initially have anything at all. But then once we added the widget, so show you again, let me just do it this way. So add a widget. So let's just delete this one real quick. So as you can see, this widget has nothing specifically random, right? So if I go to this widget class, then this health bar right here that I created, you can see that this widget has nothing above the head, right? So if I go over here to widget class and then I click health bar and I drag it up here, basically would have a way of appearing. I'm trying to see how I did that before. Let's see. Um, So I have a one-sided widget element. So let's see here. Widget 3D pass-through masked one-sided. So basically it's a material instance. Okay. All right, so let me try that again. Okay. Okay. Okay, so we have widget blueprint health bar, or not even health bar, widget blueprint enemy health bar. Oh, that would be why. Okay, so enemy health bar, and I didn't even need to change anything else. So anyway, then I would drag it up a little bit, be above the enemy's head. Okay, and there we go. So you see how we got it to work. Okay, so this is the same thing, right? All right. So now we come over here to the event graph, and to show you why I have it on tick, this is why. Okay. First, we're going to set the world rotation. So relevant to the player's rotation of wherever the player is at, that is where this health bar is going to be. So we get the new rotation. We get the world location and actor location. So we get both of those. And then we plug them into the find look at rotation. So let me just unplug all these so I can show you how it works. All right. So first, and get player character, which is the exact same thing here, which is us, right? We're gonna get actor location, and we're gonna get world location. Yep. Not seeing well. Let's see here. Right. Get world location. I don't think you need all this. Plug this in. Like, I don't know why it's doing all that. Well, anyway, the idea though, here, I just forget all this. So the reason why this is important. Okay. But just to re-explain everything once this is all hooked up again. Okay. So here, we get the player character, we get the location of our character, right? And then here, we get the world location of the, so basically this character is the enemy. So we get the character, get their location, get the world location of the health widget because we need to have that relevant to the player, right? And then so the start, get the world location of where it's at, and then we want to rotate it to wherever this enemy is at. So basically, compared to the player, we want the uh, character location to match the widget location. And then now with this, we get the rotation of the widget to go with that rotation. And then as we go further here, we get the health bar of the enemy. We get that widget. We plug in which widget that is, and that's the health widget above the head. All right. And then here at the end, after we get the health bar for the enemy, we set the percent of that, right? So we get the enemy health, whatever that is, and then we in the percent we divide their health by the 100, and then at the end of that, so basically as you damage them, they take, so this is their current health, you divide it for each hit they take, divide it by whatever the percent is that they're taking. So anyway, then you got your branch here at the end, because basically this, if it stops at set percent with all this stuff, basically even when they die, their health bar runs out, they're still going to have a health bar above their head. So you have to have this part. So we have a branch, and then we have a variable that if that character is dead, so if I shot it, the enemy no longer has any health, then if that is true, we set the visibility of the health widget, and then a new visibility would be checked if it's still alive, and unchecked if the enemy is dead. So that's the whole purpose of this, and that's why it disappears. So this is the coding to make that work. But again, this widget that I just showed you here, that's above the enemy's head, is what all this stuff references, right? You get your widget, you make it, which is not that. It's taking its time. This right here, right? And you have that in the widget here. You just have to plug in this widget. You have to plug that in on your widget class. So you have to make one. And then once you make it, then you add it onto your character, onto the capsule for the enemy. And then all this stuff happens, right? Because like you're gonna have to have that rotate with the player, rotate it wherever, depending on where they're at, and then have them lose health and then die. So that's the whole purpose of that. And as you saw, it worked on all the different enemies because it's all on the same blueprint. So, and so yeah, that's how that works and is functional. So if you need me to demonstrate one more time, let me just run through this one more time so you can see. So again, you see when I get within a certain radius, they attack. This bar rotates depending on where I'm at. Because as you can see, it rotates every time. There's certain areas it can't be seen in, but, and then if I shoot at this enemy, when they die, their health bar disappears. Now, if I was to take off that end piece that if the is dead with the branch, then their health bar would still be there, but just be empty over their dead body. So again, the thing rotates, doesn't matter whether it's full or partial. All right, and then to show you if I did this, if I took this off, right, which is if they're dead, then I set the visibility. Then basically I can shoot them, they'll die, and their health bar will still be there, as you can see. So, and we'd have like 10 dead enemies with health bars that are all empty, right? And for what? They all have the same thing. All right, now, if hello. Sorry, my son's a little bit noisy in the background. Okay, so, all right, to show you, and so if we have this plugged in, if I have this checked, right, instead of unchecked, then the same thing would happen, right? Basically, you'd go in and you still have the problem of it showing empty, but not disappearing because I have it checked. So there's two different ways, as you see, and again, it's still there, you know. Everything's plugged in except for that thing is checked. So now there is no reason to have that code there because this is checked. Now if I uncheck it, and it will go back to that, it will disappear when the enemy dies, pretty much. Health bar disappears. No problem. And they look like dead enemies rather than, messed up enemies that all have health bars that aren't green. So, all right. That is how you make a widget and put it above the enemy's head and make it relevant to where you need it to be. So, hope this was helpful, and we'll see you guys for more as we need more things to go over. Probably do more of the shop stuff on the next one. Okay.